Well, what if stormwater pollution affected you directly? The truth is, stormwater pollution affects us all. Don't let karma get you. Think blue.
We're getting ready for the event number 63. This is the Women Collegiate Petite Final, JV Petite Final. And we will check out the beginning of this race, about ready to get underway.
And we're up at the starting line of the Women's Collegiate JV Petite. This is second varsity boats, the JVs. And this is places 7 through 12. In lane 1, we have SMU. Lane 2, Tulsa. Lane 3, Sacramento State. Lane 4, University of San Diego. Lane 5, San Diego State University. Lane 6, University of California, Davis. We're moments away from the start. The aligner still has not raised his green flag, indicating that we would have alignment. Let's kind of set this field for you up here, the feeling for the race. We have a slight easterly breeze of about 4 knots, just enough to raise the flags off of their markers on their staffs. It's coming off the starboard beam of these boats, so the boats would be pushed from right to left, closer to the shore.
Not in lane 2, not racing. Start radio, and we got that. Thank you, though.
We have an alignment. The flag has been raised. It's been turned over to the starter.
Stop. Lane 4, in, stop.
SMU, Tulsa, Sacramento State, University of San Diego, San Diego State, UC Davis. Attention. Go.
There you have it, the start of event number 63, Women's Collegiate JV Petites. All boats away from the stake boats. Jumping out to an early lead, they're lane 2. Tulsa and Sacramento State just about a canvas ahead at the 100-meter breakage point. All boats across the breakage. Tulsa inside lane 1 at 43 strokes a minute. But it appears to be that the junior varsity, second varsity from the Sacramento State is pushed clear by 1 deck over lane 2, Tulsa. At the 250-meter mark, where your early leader still remains Sacramento State, followed by Tulsa University, and then outside lane 6, University of California, Davis. Then it's bunched for the next position between SMU, San Diego State, and USD. As the boats are settling into their race cadence, Tulsa's pushed back into Sacramento State and has gained half of that distance back, so they're only half a deck down at this point. Still Sacramento State, Tulsa, and UC Davis. Here comes Davis with a big move right here. 400 meters, they're making a push and driving back into Tulsa, pulling even with Tulsa. At the 500-meter mark, your leader will be Sac State first across, Tulsa second, followed closely by UC Davis. Then we look inside to SMU, and then dead heat between University of San Diego and San Diego State. Sac State settling in at 35 strokes a minute, has answered the challenge from UC Davis so far in Tulsa, and on a move of their own and push back out 2 more seats. All boats settling in the early part of this race and just kind of jockeying for position. And at the 750-meter mark, your leader is Sacramento State in lane 3 in the white boat with green oars. Then outside at UC Davis has overtaken Tulsa. And then inside Tulsa in lane 2. And then dead heat the rest of the way between the SMU, University of San Diego, and San Diego State. Over to you at the finish.
On the water, the women's collegiate JV petite final. And lane assignments once again quickly. Southern Methodist in lane 1. Lane 2, University of Tulsa currently battling for the lead against our current leader in lane 3, California State University, Sacramento. Then in lane 4, University of San Diego. Lane 5 has San Diego State University. And out in lane 6, the University of California, Davis.
Alan, based on yesterday's results, the form crew in this race is the current race leader, Sacramento State. They came over the course yesterday at 7 minutes 15 seconds. There's then a gap to the trailing crews in this race. SMU did a 7:22, Tulsa a 7:24, University of San Diego a 7:23. So the challenge to Sacramento State in this race is going to come from Southern Methodist and Tulsa from the Midwest and the hometown University of San Diego.
Still fairly tightly bunched. But in the middle of the field in lane number 3, Sacramento State continues on the lead. They're being challenged on the far outside by University of California, Davis, and to the shoreline side of them by the University of Tulsa. Along the shore, SMU has dropped back somewhat, as have San Diego State University and the University of San Diego. This is the women's collegiate JV petite final.
The surprise packet in this, Alan, so far is the crew on the far outside, because they were on times not expected to really duke it out for this race. But the University of California, Davis, out in lane 6, are really putting in a performance which belied their performance yesterday. They're rowing at 35 strokes per minute at the moment and are really throwing down the challenge to Sacramento State, their cross-Sacramento rivals. At the moment, the challenge from the Midwest crews from Southern Methodist at Tulsa seems to have petered off a little bit in lanes 1 and 2, and it's really a race between the Sacramento State crew who have seized this race by the neck right from the beginning, the challenge from Davis on the far outside, and coming strong at the University of San Diego.
This is Sacramento State. They are in lane number 3. They're on the lead, but they certainly have not run away from the University of California, Davis on the far outside. Then we have two crews pretty close together, University of Tulsa and the University of San Diego. Dropping back to the shoreline side, Southern Methodist. By the way, at 500 meters to go, Southern Methodist has kicked it up a notch. And then outside to San Diego State. We'll see if Davis has enough staying power to shadow this Sacramento State crew in the middle of the field and put on a finish that might get them up to that #1 position. But right now, it still continues to be Sacramento State. Sacramento State is still cruising along in mid-course speed at about 35 strokes per minute. Expect that to ratchet up here pretty soon. And Cal Davis on the outside beginning to pick it up somewhat as well, as those two crews are opening up water over Tulsa and the University of San Diego. Along the shoreline, Southern Methodist has picked it up, and they've begun to make a run while San Diego State continues to trail. We've got a pretty exciting race up at the front of our race right here with Sacramento State about a half-boat length lead over the University of California, Davis. And then a very exciting fight right now in the second position, second echelon, with Tulsa on the shoreline leading and the University of San Diego on the outside. Then along the shoreline itself, it's Southern Methodist and San Diego State is trailing. It looks like Sacramento State may be able to hold off this charge, but Davis has stayed on them every second, every stroke, all the way down the course. On the inside, it is Sacramento State. On the outside, it's Davis. As they come down to the finish, it appears that Sacramento State was able to hold off a hard-charging Davis crew, and in second position along the shore, it looks like Tulsa did the same against the University of San Diego. Unofficially, our winner in the women's collegiate JV petite was the Sacramento State out of course, Sacramento, California, and they held off a late charge by the University of California, Davis, finish in second. The Cushman Wellness Center at Sharp Memorial Outpatient Pavilion